So now we'll see some patterns of squares. So really we are finding squares using the patterns only here. So we are asked to find square of 333, 333, 3333, so on, and like the same for sixes, number of sixes, 666, 666, 999, 999, and so on. So we'll see the pattern and how we get the squares. So using the pattern we can write the squares of these numbers. So when we are talking about the speed max concept, so it is very vast and it is very tedious to know all that. So here what all the concepts I give, it is focused on the exam. So it is only examination point of view. So what all questions they are, so based on that I have formed all the shortcuts, and the required shortcuts and patterns I have given to you and I am giving to you. And now we'll see how to find squares of these numbers. Say to find square of 3. So what is square of 3? So here we are writing the squares. So square of 3 is 9. So we'll write as 0, 9. Now we have 2 3's. So what is square of 33? So with this pattern we can find squares of this 33 instead of using this a square plus 2ab plus b square concept. So here we have 9 and 0. So between the 0 and 9 write 1 less, and here after this 0 1 less than 9, and here you write 1 more than this 0. And now what will be square of 3 3's? So 9 and 0. Write 2 8's and 2 1's. So when you are writing, this number will be 1 less than 9 and this number will be 1 more than 0. So following the same pattern you can find squares of any number of 3's. So here when it is 33 square, it is 1089. This 0 and 9 is retained and will increase the number of 8's and 1's as the number of 3's increases. The number of 3's, if it is 3, you will have 1 less than this number of 3's. You will have 2 1's and 2 8's, and we will write this 0 and 9 in this middle. Suppose if it is. So now what will be the answer? So now write this 0 and 9. How many 3's you have? 4 3's. Now write 3 8's in the middle. And how many 1's? 3 1's. So on, you can find squares of numbers where you have many number of 3's. And now for our next series, which starts with 6. So what is 6 square? So we can follow the series when they are in multiples of 3. So what is 6 square? It is 36. And now to find square of 66. So in between this 3 and 6, so we'll insert the numbers. So write 1 less than 6, that is 5. And before 3, you write 1 more than 3. So instead of using any pattern a square plus 2ab plus b square, so just with the pattern we are finding the square. So for double 6, you write 1 4 before this 3 and 1 number less than this 6, 5. So when you have 3 6's, so what will be the square? So between this 36, so as you have 3 6's, write 2 5's. And you will have 2 4's. So now what will be square of this 4 6's? So when you have 4 6, write 1 less than the number of 6's. 3 4's, 3, and the pattern goes on. And the same you can do for 9 also. So what is 9 square? 81. Now to find 99 square, for this 99 square, so between this 8 and 1, so you write one number less than 1, that is 0, and after this 8, one number more than 8, that is 9. So mostly in working or in simplification, you will have this type of squares of 999 and all. So instead of multiplying and finding, so you can remember square of 9, and from that you can write the answer. So in between this 8 and 1, as you have 3 9s, 2 zeros and 2 9s. And now, can you say what is square of 4 9s? So 4 9, so how many 9s a square will have? 1 less than the number of 9. So 4 means we will have 3 9s starting, and in between this 8 and 1, 3 zeros. And the pattern goes on. So using the pattern, so we have written squares of this numbers, this series of 3s, 6 and 9s. So now we'll see an application of this pattern in the next question. So the next example is, find the number of 9s in n. So where n equal to, so you have 9 9s. So 9 9 square. So how many 9s you will have when you square 9 9s? And the next question is, find the number of 9s in n. So where n equal to 6 3 squared. So now what will be the answer? So we have seen the pattern. Say suppose if you are squaring 99. So what was the answer we saw in that pattern? So it was 9801. Now when you square 99, so you will have 1 9. If suppose you are squaring 9, so it is 81. So when you are squaring 1 9, so in this square no 9s are there. So you will have 1 less than the number of 9. So how many 9s we have here? We have 9 9s in the question. So when you are squaring 9 9, so how many 9s will be there in a square? It will be 1 less. So when you square n 9 9s, number of 9s you will have is 8 9. So 8 is the answer. And the next question, find the number of 9s in n. So where n is square of 6 3s. So when you squared 3, so what was the answer? 0 9. So when you squared 3, so according to the pattern, so what was the answer got? So writing 1 more than 0 and writing 1 less than 9, 1089. So when you square any number of 3s, you will have only 1 9. So now when you square 6 3s, so what will be the number of 9s? So just you will have only 1 9. So using the pattern without doing any working, so we can arrive at the answer. So if you are aware of this concept, so seeing the question, you can write down the answer. So we'll see the next pattern. So where we are going to find squares of many number of ones, either 1, 11, 111, 4 ones, etc. and followed with the example question. So we'll see what is the pattern for these numbers. So when you square 11, so what is 11 square? It is 121. So what will be 111 square? So when you have 2 ones, you have numbers 1 and 2. So it starts from 1, then 2, and then it descends. So when you have 3 ones, it will be 1, 2, 3. So the number of ones will give you the number. Up to this numbers you proceed. So when you have 3 ones, write up to 3. 1, 2, 3, and then it will descend. Okay. And now when you have 4 ones, and when you square it, so what will be square of 4 ones? As you have 4 ones, write up to 4 and then start in descending order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, a square of this 4 1. So because here, suppose if you are squaring this, that is 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So instead of writing all this, so the number of ones, up to that we write the numbers. We have 3 ones, or 1, 2, 3, then start descending, 2 and 1. So when you have 4 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it starts descending, 3, 2, 1. So the same can be followed for any number of ones. So using this pattern, we'll see how to answer the question. So we are asked to find value of m minus n. And what is m and n? So it's given that m square is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is a decimal number, and the decimal placed between this 5 and 4. So 4 digits from right to left, we have a decimal point. So m square is 12345.4321, and n square is given as 1234321. And here you have a decimal after 4 digits from right to left. And value of m minus n is asked. So for that, we need to find square root of this number, m square, and square root of n square, so that we get value of m and n. So we have seen the concept that, so when you square 4 ones, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. So same is repeated here. So when you practice, so when you see the question, so these patterns will strike in your mind. So just practice all these techniques, all these shortcuts. So here m square is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what will be value of m? So taking square root, or when you square 5 ones, you get this value. So root of this is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So according to this pattern, so when you square 5 1, you will have numbers starting from 1 up to 5, and it starts descending. And this is a decimal number. So how many decimal places you have in the square? 4 decimal places. So when you are finding square root, you will have half the number of decimals. So 4 means here you will have 2 decimal places in the square root. And for n square, so n square is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. So then what will be value of n? We have up to 4, so square root will be 4 ones. So up to 4 ones we have written the pattern. So when you square 4 ones, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. So n value is 4 ones, and here also you have 4 decimal places. You will have half the number of decimals. So after, that is 2 decimal places. So from right to left, place the decimal after 2 places. So now we need m minus n. So when you subtract, what will be the answer? So all zeros and 100. So 100 is the answer. So we have found the answer using the same pattern of the squares of this one. So m square is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1, finding m, and n square is 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, finding n. Subtracting, we got m minus n as 100. So we'll see the next concept.